Hi everybody, I'm Dawn. I'm your astrologer and I'm here to talk to you about the new moon in Leo occurring on August the 8th when the sun and the moon come together at 16 degrees of Leo. This marks a new lunar cycle, a time to set our new intentions, and we can focus those intentions around the energy of the fifth house. Leo is the fifth sign of the zodiac, and it is ruled by the sun, our inner fire, our spark of creativity, our childlike joy. And together they occupy the fifth house in our astrological chart. So if you take a look at that, that will give you a more concentrated area of focus to set those intentions. This is a very exciting new moon in Leo during Leo season because it is sandwiched in between two very rare Aquarius full moons. So the sun moved in to the sign of Leo on July 22nd, and then on July 23rd we had our first of two Aquarius full moons. Aquarius, the collective, humanity, equality, the collective consciousness, and the age that we are moving into. Aquarius is very futuristic and innovative. And Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is transiting the sign of Taurus. And so we have had this ongoing area of tension all year long between Uranus and Taurus and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn representing the rules, the restrictions in our society, in the collective. And so during this new moon, the sun and the moon will be in a tense square to Uranus in Taurus, just a few degrees, 2 degrees of separation in this square aspect. So what we are witnessing is the Leo themes, the desire to be seen and acknowledged. Leo is a sign that loves to love and, more importantly, be loved. They kind of have a reputation for liking to be the center of the stage. And so we started out Leo season with Mars and Venus in the sign of Leo, really asking us to take some action and align with our values and show up in our sovereign truth, our authenticity, and share our individual talents and our individual gifts that make us uniquely who we are with others, with the world, with humanity. And so during this new moon, we have Uranus and Taurus in a tense square to the new moon. This can offer some innovative solutions for showing up and integrating ourselves in our authentic form into a society that, is full of diverse differences, and also embrace an attitude of allowance and acceptance for others to show up in their individual creative selves. And if there were ever a sign that needed two opportunities of culmination to share the stage and integrate with others equally, it is the sign of Leo. And so it's a beautiful, symbolic two full moons in Aquarius sandwiching this new moon. And so Mercury, our planet of communication, is giving us a little help during this new moon because Mercury moved into the sign of Leo on July the 27th, right after Leo season began. And then on August the 2nd, the sun, our inner fire, our authentic spark, was tightly conjoined to Mercury, our planet of communication, and in a direct opposition to Saturn and Aquarius. And what this did is it set the stage for us to learn to overcome the obstacles in society, in our world, in our personal lives, because Mercury is a personal planet. And what this did was it really aligned us with speaking our truth. And now this can be a wonderful expression of individual truth and how we communicate it to others. However, with this square to Uranus and Taurus to the full moon, this could very well fuel some really loud protests or outbursts in society where people collaborate on common causes and really go to, I don't want to use the word war, but really go out there in an effort to allow their voice to be heard, their opinion to be heard, and their values to be heard. And that's certainly an energy available for us to operate in. But more importantly, this is a story of the story we tell about who we are and how we share that with others, with the world. And a story about stepping out into an integrated future, yet not losing our individual selves. So a couple of other things that are going to be happening during this new moon is that Mercury, that planet of our analytical mind and how we communicate, will be in an opposition to Jupiter, the planet of expansion. And so that may fuel on a global level this expansion of us communicating our truth and kind of squaring off against that restriction in society. On a more optimistic, higher vibration, which is certainly the energy that Jupiter brings. Jupiter always brings blessings. It's the great benefactor, the great benevolent. And Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces. And so Mercury opposing Jupiter really expands this optimism around us, allowing ourselves to communicate with authenticity, who we are from a place of truth. And so we have an optimistic feeling with this connection that we can connect with other people and still show up in true form in our regal selves and speak our truth without fear of rejection or worrying about a lack of accolades. And so this is encouraging the strongest potential of Leo attributes. Another transit that's occurring during this new moon is that Venus, our planet of values, what we value in terms of romance, resources, our second house of abundance, and how we draw that to us. Venus will be in a pretty tense aspect, yet an equally supportive aspect. So Venus is opposing Neptune, also in the sign of Pisces. And this can be a highly advantageous opportunity to raise our interpersonal relationships to the higher spiritual level if we tap into that. And no better way to raise that interconnectedness and the level that you operate on than showing up in your true form, speaking your truth and being authentically who we are. However, Venus, the planet of love and our human desires, really being fueled by this passionate, fiery Leo sun and moon, in this connection to Neptune, can be a little bit of a fantasy. It can be seeing things through rose-colored glasses. Let's remember that Mercury here in the square to Uranus, we could hear some shocking information. Everything that we hear is subject to revision, may not be exactly the truth. And so, you know, Neptune does have that illusion effect, and it can present in this Venus Neptune opposition as a type of self-delusion or illusion. So we really want to embody some patience before we act on our desires that appear during this new moon, especially with this challenging square to Uranus, which makes us want to do radical, shocking, sudden changes. It will behoove us to really embody some patience. We are getting some help in that area because Venus is also going to be creating a wonderful Earth trine to Pluto in Capricorn, really anchoring us down into that groundedness of our soul, of our indoctrination, and those parts that are so valuable that we choose to use them as an anchor to carry us through or to carry over into our future expression and our future ideas and vision. And so Pluto has been retrograding through the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn representing the old structures of our society, those outdated systems that have been collapsing over the past few years. And Pluto has been purging our personal power in this area to dissolve those commitments and contracts and obligations and ties to programming that no longer serve our best and highest good or align with our authentic versions of ourselves. And so Pluto is really purging that personal power so that we can ground into our authority, ground into those parts of who we are, and have the eyes to see and the ears to hear through this Venus-Neptune opposition. Now, this can be a catalyst for transforming our relationships, whether it's our relationship to money and our ideas of abundance and how abundance comes to us. Pluto is a planet that really purges the truth in order to help us evolve our soul to its highest potential of power. And so this ongoing aspect between Venus and these planets really being triggered during this new moon can really allow us to transform our relationships to money, to our love, interest, and partners, and really take them to the higher vibration of spiritual connection. You know, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Jupiter and Neptune are both there. The modern and the ancient ruler, really giving this optimistic energy that is available, giving this air of optimism if we look for it and engage in it. And so I just wanted to take some time and highlight some of the aspects at play during this new moon. It is a time for us to really step into our strength, our courage, and most importantly, operate from a place of joy. That childlike joy that we have perhaps gotten away from as life has showed up. Leo really is a super strong sign of tapping into that creative aspect and part of us, that thing that makes us uniquely who we are, and allow our inner fire to shine. And Venus is supporting us in this, as well as Mercury, allowing us to speak our truth. And also, you know, these tense aspects offer some tools to help us to integrate into society and embrace some innovative ways, some innovative solutions of connecting through technology, overcoming obstacles, using the analytical ideas in a very creative way in our personal lives and our collaborations with others. And so these square aspects always require reconciliation. And so this is a call to action for us to do things differently and embrace some innovative solutions of change in a way that we can show up in authentic form and integrate into a collaborative effort of growth with others, allowing them that same ability. And so I wish you all the happiest of new moon blessings.